Hey guys, okay, this is going to be today's video. It was not supposed to be today's video. Actually, I almost had my other video all ready to go. It's supposed to be the closet declutter and organize part 2. But this is jumping ahead of that because I woke up this morning with a lot of thoughts about things that I feel like I need to clear up because I think a lot of people are wondering, first of all, I mean, there's a lot of things that I'll probably talk about here, but the main thing is I know people have wondered if I'm ever going to get back to the free cleaning, because I know that's what brought a lot of you here, was the fact that I was doing free cleaning or these bigger transformations, and now what the heck, you're just cleaning your own house? What happened? And I know a lot of you understand what happened. For those of you that don't and feel like you've been duped, and yeah, that was totally my plan all along, was to just get you hooked with those big transformations and then be like, okay, now I got you where I want you. I'm going to give you boring videos of my own home cleaning. So yeah, not what happened at all. So let me tell you a little bit about what my life was like before I started this channel, just so you can get a little better picture of how different this is for me and how hard of a change this has been. Well, anyway, sorry, I will always have these thoughts that are like, oh, this needs to be talked about right now, but no, hold Bonnie, we're going to talk about that later. Anyway, okay, so my business before this, as a lot of you know, was medical transcription, and it's something I did for 21 years. And the reason I know it was 21 years is because I started it almost immediately after my daughter was born. And the reason that I started that business takes me back even a little bit further. And this kind of goes along the lines of the stuff that I had talked about in, I don't know, a couple videos ago, where I'm like, there's things that you should know about my my past and how I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. And I had to work harder than most people, I think, to get to some of the places that I've been. And the one thing that I've always, excuse me, had going for me is that I have ambition, I have drive, I don't like to settle for anything. And so I've always wanted to achieve and have felt like anything's possible if I just take that risk. And so that's, I am a little bit of a risk taker. It's paid off in some instances, not so much in others, and maybe I'll talk about that. I don't know. But anyway, it's just not been an easy road. But that being said, I also want to acknowledge that I'm sure it's been a lot easier than some people have it. Just watching Stephanie's story yesterday on 5 Free Cleaning, and if you haven't watched that, I put a community post about this, but I know not everybody sees those, but if you haven't watched 5 Free Cleaning's latest video, go watch it, because she shares part of her story and it's heartbreaking, but also shares, like, I'm gonna get, like, I seriously, I can't talk about anything that's like emotional without just crying. Okay, in fact, I already cried about it a lot this morning, but yes, go watch it. Go donate to her friend's cause, because, well, you'll see. I'll let her tell you that story. But all right, where was I? Oh my gosh, I seriously, this is part of the struggle. This is really so hard for me to stay on track, and it makes so much more sense now that I have my diagnoses and I know that, I have this neurodivergence going on, which, by the way, is not up for debate. So please, anybody that's out there that's like, oh, you're just trying to jump on the trend of, people that are now autistic or ADHD, and that's not how it works. Sorry. We have struggled through life, so I don't care if you believe me or not. It's a fact. And I finally have an instruction manual now, and it's great. But I also know that there are certain things that are just going to be naturally harder for me. So, like this, I just get stuck. and I'm trying, like, I've taken so many takes of this video, or I've started it over so many times because of all the pausing, but I can't keep doing that. So some of these I'm just gonna leave in there. Okay, seriously, what was I saying? Okay, going back to, yeah, like the ambition and drive, work ethic. That's really where I wanted to talk more about, because, or what I want to talk more about, whatever. See, words are hard. So I didn't intentionally start my medical transcription business. Like, it was never supposed to be a business where I had employees and things like that. What happened is that I have such a strong work ethic and such a drive to, I mean, part of it's people pleasing, unfortunately, because I do like to please people, and so I never like to disappoint. I always like to show that I'm a good worker and all that, which, you know, can be great, but it can also be detrimental when I neglect other things. And this is something that's happened recently here with YouTube. But anyway, so what happened is I took a medical transcription course when I was pregnant with Kaylee, my first child. And that's because I never finished college, because I couldn't afford to finish it. And it's something I don't regret. I don't think college is for everybody, but I was like, okay, well, what do I do? I don't know. I would love to be able to be at home, be a, you know, at home mom, but also be able to work, because I'm not happy unless I'm working or, you know, providing some of the income. I'm not somebody who's just like, take care of me, please. It's just not my personality. So I started this medical transcription course, and, you know, was working full time as well, and trying to do it all while I'm pregnant. And then I was working at a credit union at the time, and I was doing a loan for a doctor, a neurologist, who just, you know, asked when I was due and what's my plan after and all that. And I just told him, actually, I'm doing a medical transcription course. I don't know if it's even gonna pan out, because I know it's kind of hard to get your foot in the door. And he's like, actually, I happen to need a medical transcriptionist. He's like, I mean, if you're interested, hit me up when you've had your baby, and we can see if we can work something out. And so anyway, that's how I got my foot in the door, and it was very fortunate. I count that like one of my biggest blessings, because that then enabled me to work from home. And then, you know, there's a lot that happened in like the first 5 years of doing that, and a lot of ups and downs and whatever. But through it all, it was my work ethic that got me through, because I kept getting more requests for help with other offices, because they were behind in their transcription. They needed somebody who could catch them up, and I'm like, yes, I will do that for you. So that was when I got too busy, I had to hire some help. And I mean, and I waited a long time to do that, because I didn't feel like I had the time to, you know, stop doing the transcription long enough to train people and get, you know, employees. And I'm not a business person. I've never run a business. This is not my thing. I didn't go to business school or know how to set up payroll and, you know, any of that. So anyway, my accountant helped me out with the business side of things, and I finally got some employees on board, and rest is history. When that all came crashing down early 2022, has it really been almost 2 years? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it kind of started about 2 years ago, like from about now, that I heard something was in the works, that the main clinic, which was a neurosurgery clinic, was going to be bought out by a bigger corporation, and that you know, I knew that they didn't use medical transcriptionists, that they did the dragon or I don't know, some kind of speech recognition. And I you know, I got word of that and was like, okay, well, that sucks, but what do you do? I'll, you know, find somebody else. But anyway, long story short, this is just, I probably am lucky that I hung in there as long as I did. And I'm very thankful for that, because I probably should have been out of job 5+ years before. And most people had lost their transcription jobs that long before. But anyway, so when it all finally came tumbling down and I no longer had clients, you know, I had to figure out what's next, because it was a huge business. I had to lay off 7 employees. And so that was big change. So it was like, okay, do we move? Like, what? I don't know what other job to go get. This is what I've done for 21 years. So I don't even know anything that matches what I was making before. But then I'm also thinking I had so much time too to devote to the service projects I was doing. And now how am I even going to do that if I'm working like 4 other jobs just to try to make ends meet now? So anyway, I was just like, God, what do I do? and yes, I'm going to bring God into this, because it was really a big part of why I started this channel. I am a Christian, as a lot of you know, and I think some of you have even wondered, well, she's in Utah, is she Mormon? Yes, I am. And we actually prefer to be called the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but most people know us as Mormons. And if that makes people go, oh, well, she's crazy, we're getting out of here, she's part of a cult, whatever, move along, because it's not, I mean, whatever, think what you want. Let's focus on things that are actually important and our humanity, and not what religion we are. Okay, just trying to be a good person. But that being said, this is my that is my role model and who I am doing this channel for. So all right, sorry, getting off track. So let's see, where was I in my story? So anyway, I had to figure out what I was going to do next, how we were supposed to make ends meet, or if we need to move, or, you know, whatever. But without going into too much detail, I felt inspired to start this free cleaning channel because of my love to help people and trying to be a positive change in the world. And so that was kind of my answer, but I was like, God, are you sure? Because how am I supposed to pay the bills when I'm not making an income? I mean, if I'm just starting a channel, I know it takes like at least a couple years to even start making money. And yeah, in the free cleaning, like I'm not going to be charging for the cleaning. How is this going to work? So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to trust that it's going to be okay. And we fortunately had some savings, and I don't know how I convinced my husband to let me do this, because I've taken a very big risk before that did not turn out well. And yeah, we're not going to tell that story right now, but so I said, give it 6 months, please. Let me just try this. I just want to see, because that's just what I'm feeling inspired to do. So that's why I started the channel. Now, if I could have peaked 18 months or 2 years into the future, I'd be like, really? This was the plan? But I think somewhere in there, I have lost a lot of the focus that I started with, and it has been, it's been hard for me to figure out how to rein everything back in. And so this is part of the reason why I am just working on my own space right now, because I can't be off doing other people's homes when I need to recenter and figure out how to do this in the way that I initially intended to. But I also think that it's not healthy for me to continue doing free cleanings the way that I was before, because it was never a sustainable pace. I mean, it was not like, you know, a room at a time, because my personality is that when I start a project, I want to do it all. And I know I can't, that's just impossible, but you know, I just wanted to do more and more and more. And especially as I got to know the people that I was helping, and it was just so like, oh, wow, you've been through so much, let me just ease your burden. And so I had no idea, like, okay, actually, sorry, this is a story that just came to me that I feel like I want to share, because it's kind of funny looking back on things. And yes, I realize I am going off on a total tangent here, and this is not anything that I planned on putting in this video, and this is probably going to be the longest unintended video I've ever done, but I'm just getting it all out there. So my husband, when we got married, I had very poor self-esteem and very poor, oh my gosh, I can't do this without crying. Okay, I'm back. I cut out the crying bit because we're just not doing that again. It's so uncomfortable for me to watch it. I can't even believe I put that out into the world, but, or the one that I did, so not doing that again. You're welcome. Anyway, I'm gonna just do this as matter-of-factly as possible, but I had very poor self-esteem when we got married, and I had an eating disorder, and he helped me through a lot of that, but I remember a specific conversation that he just asked me, what do you like about yourself? You always tell me all these things that you don't like. What do you like about yourself? And the only thing that I could come up with, because I had to think for a long time, I'm like, I don't know. And anyway, what I came up with was like, I guess I make people feel comfortable. And I didn't know how to put that, or like how to word that, but now I know that that's what being an empath is like you do make people feel comfortable. And it's almost as if you have a sign like this. I had to pause and make this sign for you guys, but you can read that. It's like, tell me all your problems. I want to fix them for you. That is what it feels like sometimes to be an empath, because people are just like, oh, she seems like a kind soul, I'll just tell her everything. And which is great that you feel so comfortable to share your deepest, darkest secrets and everything with me, but it's a lot to take on. So anyway, this was something that I kind of knew about myself, but I've never had to deal with people in such a short period of time, so many different people that have like tremendous amounts of problems and burdens and everything, that I'm just like a sponge and want to fix it all. So that is a huge reason I cannot just jump back into it. And because even still, I feel a little guilt for, oh my gosh, if I try again, I can't cry again. Okay, we're just getting it together. But even still, I feel a little guilty when I'm not helping Mara, or over helping my friend Tisha, and helping Cami, and anyway, all these people that I've started with, and I'm like, I want to see this through. I want to see you happy again. And it's hard to accept that I can't fix them. So that's something that was never part of the plan. I had to pause again because I started crying again. And that's just me, which makes me a terrible business person because I can't take the emotion out of it, which is probably why my channel isn't like enormous. I will never be a Mr. Beast or Ari even, because I am an emotional being, and it being 46 doesn't help either, because I think there's a lot of hormones involved too. So that being said, I need to wrap this up because this has gone on way longer than I intended, and I'm hitting on topics that I wasn't even planning on, but I also feel really good having all that out because above all, I want to be a good example to my kids and show them what's possible, that yeah, there are pieces of this that really suck. Like being a YouTuber is no joke. Another funny bit, when we were just on our cruise in Italy, it's not just Italy, it was a Mediterranean cruise, but there was somebody that was part of our group, and she lives here in Spanish Fork, and she's a teacher, and was like, you know, would you ever want to come talk to our kids about being a YouTuber? And because there's a lot of them that want to be YouTubers. Like, yeah, I'm probably not the person to do that because I will dash their dreams and be like, you don't want to be a YouTuber, I promise. Because it's not an easy thing. But I don't know. There are personalities for it, but I don't know how I thought I could make this work, but here I am. So this is me just bearing my soul. Okay, let's see if I can wrap this up and tell you, yeah, I've lost track of like what this video was even about. So oh yeah, so I was saying being a good example to my kids. Yeah, I want to show them that there's not like you don't have to do what the world expects of you either, because I know there are people that are disappointed that I'm not doing the free cleaning and that I'm not just like pushing through and like, yeah, getting it done. And because I did that for way too long, and that's why I'm in the position I'm in now. But I can't just stop either because I don't have anything right now to fall back on. So this is just me muddling through until I can kind of figure out what the plan is. And I am trying my best to make the content that I'm doing around my own house at least educational or something that you're getting some value out of. But just bear with me. I will get back to some of the bigger transformations, I'm sure, because that is something that's just, I just want to help people. I'm always going to want to help people, but I just have to rein it in. And I've got some things that I'm hoping happen that will help me do that in a easier way so that I'm not taking on so much myself. But anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So yeah, lastly, I guess I just want to say thank you, because this has been just a crazy roller coaster that I've wanted to get off of so many times and did once, but I'm back. And in fact, that break really, really killed the momentum on my channel. Sucks, but yeah, just move forward. I mean, there are worse things. So I'll hopefully build that momentum back up, unless people see this video and they're like, yeah, she is a crackhead. Okay, not crackhead. But she's, yeah, a little too emotional or crazy for me. But sorry, this is me. So, and I shouldn't say sorry, because I shouldn't apologize for who I am. This is how I was created. So, okay, I really need to wrap this up. I seriously have been going off on so many tangents and talking about things that I was not intending to talk about, but honestly, it feels so good just to get it all out there, because these are things that I think about all the time. And yeah, there are people that will call this an excuse. It's an explanation as to why I have to do things the way that I do. And I know I am not a typical cleaning channel, because I am not typical. And that's been hard for me to accept. But I also feel like there is a whole population out there who gets me. And I was like, okay, we're here to back you, whatever you need while you're going through this rough period, because it's not anything that I planned. And I'm just trying to write it out. Okay, if you're still watching this far into the video, because I'm sure this is probably like 40 minutes by now, congratulations, you win this pen. Give me your address and I'll send it to you. Anyway, I do want to just say thank you, because I really would not have made it through any of the crap that I've been through in the last few months without the support of my community. And I know that there's been mixed in there some very insensitive comments. I've even got a gossip forum about me. That means I've made it, right? Because there's gossip about me. So to those people, I can't wait to see what you're going to say about this one. So go ahead and write it, because you know nothing about me. It's fine. And all right, that's it. I'm wrapping this up. I'm going to go work on, I don't even know, because I seriously have no idea what the future holds. I'm trying to get some houses lined up, but I'm also working on another piece of this that I need to get some stuff in place before I can really do that effectively without harming my mental health again. So we'll get back to the bigger transformations eventually, I promise. So hang in there. I will hopefully, you guys, I just decided to be mesmerized by my, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, that was seriously a bonding moment. And you know what? I'm gonna leave that in there, because that is stuff that I do all the time around my house. And oh my gosh, my kids would be mortified if they knew I put that in there. But I really do just like get bizarre, and I'm like, what is happening to me right now? So yeah, okay, love you guys. Take care. Mwah. Bye. If you're still here at the end and I haven't scared you away, that probably means you're a good person, part of my tribe. And as you know, every like, subscription, comment, all of that really helps my channel. I would just love to get my channel back into a position to where it's actually making some money again. So if you could do those things to help just boost it in the algorithm, I would so appreciate that. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.